What's going on, guys? Quick video today about so quick video today about training while injured. So recently I've had some issues with my shoulder, like my front delt, right in here. It was really sore, and it's because my biceps are extremely tight. So I've been doing a lot of work on stretching them out before all my workouts, especially on any upper body day, because I find it makes a really big difference. You just have to take 5-10 minutes to warm them up, and it's normally pretty good. And then today I was doing leg press because it was a leg day, and we were doing a weird drop set for leg press. So we were going decently light, like not even super heavy weight. So it's 15 reps, and then nice and slow, really focusing on squeezing your quads. And then before you lock, so after 15 reps, you don't quite lock out and you hold it for 10 seconds and then do 10 reps, hold it for another 10 seconds, then 5 reps and re-rack it. And at the end of it, my hip flexor kind of gave out. So, like, the rest of my leg day was pretty much ruined for quads. I still got a decent hamstring workout in, though, and decent for calves. So, I'm going to be working through that. I'm also been working through some pain in my shoulder. So, the most important thing to remember when training while, I want to say injured, but like, just pain, like little tweaks you're gonna have here and there, which everyone's gonna get if you're training for long enough. I don't think anyone's gonna go their entire lifting career without ever having any type of weird pain. So hopefully you don't, but I'm just saying for most of you, you probably will experience that at one point. And the most important thing to remember is distinguish the difference between pain that's hurting you and pain that's just, or not even like, know the difference between real pain that's making you worse and discomfort. That is the best advice I can give you. So, for instance, if you're doing squats and your lower back feels like it's going to give out, that is probably pain that's making you worse. Now, if you're doing squats and you have like a little bit of knee pain or a little bit of lower back pain, but nothing's too serious and it's not affecting your day-to-day life, then you're probably good to go through it. So you have to distinguish what type of pain is what type of pain. And once you figure that out, you can figure out exercises that you can do and exercises that you can't do that will allow you to train without making yourself worse. So that's number one. A second, which I find really important, is you really need to understand your body and how you can fix this problem. So the worst thing you can do is let a nagging injury get worse because you're ignoring it. So I did it. Like my shoulder's been bothering me for probably 2 years, and I only really started taking care of it probably 6 months ago. That's not true. Last summer when it got really bad, so like I couldn't do really any pressing, and that's when I realized, wow, I actually have to do something about this. So I started going to physio, and I started doing some research and understanding why this was occurring. So once you can understand why something's occurring, then you can actually go ahead and start to solve it. So that's what I'm doing. So that's my biggest advice. So at the end of the day, it's going to come down to knowing your body and actually accepting that there's something wrong. So it's really easy for people to train through certain injuries because they're not really affecting their training. It's just pain, and you can still lift the same weight and you're still getting a good workout in, but you're really sore the next day or you're really sore during your workout. And it's way better to be proactive on that and maybe focus a little bit of time on something that's not that big of a deal before it becomes a big deal and you actually see negative results in your training and you have to take serious time off. So that's my advice. Now, taking it a step farther is trying to prevent injuries altogether, because it's one thing to fix a problem, is another thing to prevent it from occurring. So me knowing what I know now, like for instance, now the whole hip thing, kind of hard for me to prevent that one. It was just, it just happened. Like, I don't know why. I'm gonna look into it. It's not that bad. Like, I should be able to do a leg day next week. I probably won't be able to do super heavy squats, but it shouldn't really affect anything. So in order to prevent yourself from getting injured, the three most important things are lift with good form, do lifts on a regular basis. So don't not squat for 6 months and go and try to lift the same weight you were doing 6 months ago when you're squatting every week, because that's probably going to injure you, because your form's probably not going to be there. So form, lift decent, like lift consistently, and don't lift super heavy all the time. So when I say that, I don't mean don't lift heavy. I just mean you can't lift heavy too much, or eventually your tendons, your ligaments, your joints, they will start to break down. So that's my best advice. Lift with these. If you're in bodybuilding, if your goal is to get a really good physique, you can lift with a little bit lighter weight, really control it, and avoid injuries for the most part. So that's my advice. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm going through, and I'm trying to make you guys not have the same mistakes. So warming up properly, also really important. It doesn't take very long, 5 minutes. So before you go into your heavy bench press, take the bar, do one warm up, just like get a feel for the movement. Go 135, go 185, build your way up. Don't just go in and throw 2 plates on and start repping it out, because that's doing heavyweight cold. The other way that it's more likely that you're going to get injured. Another thing I've been doing before any pressing, I've been warming up my back and my rear delts. So not a whole lot. Just take like the rope on the cables and just like a few sets, like 20 reps, super light. Just warm up my rear delts before I do any heavy pressing. I find it makes a big difference. So that's about it. Warm up properly. Understand your body. Don't ignore nagging injuries before they become a real problem. And use decent form. It's really not that hard, but we all ignore it because we get ahead of ourselves. We go in, we don't want to spend the 10 minutes to warm up. We just want to go in and start lifting. We've all been there. We all know what we're doing. So I'm just trying to put it in other people's heads because I've made those mistakes. So I hope this is useful. Give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon.